Holy smokes, look at that, eh? That is with the common consensus I took on YouTube there of asking people what kind of links they wanted on there. Most people said the beefy ones. So this got me thinking. I know some people are going to say, oh, it's not scale, oh, that's okay, it's my truck. But there's a few upgrades and transitions and a little bit of an announcement I'd like to make about this project. And because we went with the beefy links, I had a little bit of a clearance issue. So what I had to do was 4-link it. Okay, 4-link just means that 1, 2, 3, 4 on the bottom. So it actually has more flex. I've also changed the springs. These are a little bit bigger than the smaller ones on the front. You'll notice that I 4-linked the front as well. But where will you put the servo? They shouted. I'll show you. Here is a level 3-rc.com steering link. Okay, it's a machined piece of aluminum. I haven't set up the servo yet because I also have, check it out, this is a level 3-rc.com servo plate. This will sit my servo upside down right about here, which when everything's hooked up will bring the servo and the steering horn down here. It's not quite in place yet. I didn't screw it into place, but that'll show you what I wanted to do. Also, I'll turn this back to the side. Because I'm making this more heavy duty and I wanted things to clear, I've changed the drive shafts. These are no longer the Junfac carbon steel ones. In fact, these are beefier MIP drive shafts. Okay, a little bit longer, a little bit more ability to handle the torque. And the last update that I'm going to let you guys know, because you'll see it's riding a bit higher in the back, see that? Of course I'll lower those body pins down. But though, instead of doing the Land Rover Defender like I thought I was going to do, and here I'll just give you guys a quick look at that. Kablamo. Okay. Now it is riding high right now, and I don't really like the look of the links on the bottom. Now, I painted one of these Land Rover Defenders bodies for my wife, Jem. She's got a special one. It's not this one here, and we're going to do a pair of Defenders, and I can still use this body. But when I was painting hers, I screwed up her windshield, and it was for her birthday, so I used the one out of mine instead. And I thought, no big deal. We can always do the Defender body, but one of the other things I have is that custom trailer that Rude Boys RC built for me. Let's have a look at that. So for those who haven't seen this trailer, this is a handmade custom job that was done for me from the Rude Boys RC fabrication shop here in Calgary, Canada. More information on the RCSparks.com forum and website. Look at that, independent leaf springs. This thing's pretty heavy because it's made out of steel and it's got the tie-down hooks, plus with another truck on top of it. It is very heavy, right? So this truck that I was building for the build video is quite beefy, and with the dual motors and the upgraded drive shafts, everything in here except for the electronics are now put in. With that much power, I should make it into a trailer puller. So this could actually pull all my gear around on the custom trailer. That is why I put larger springs on the back. Yeah, so it's got a bit more weight. It can hold all that weight and pull. And thanks to a tip from a YouTube commenter, somebody made a comment on one of my videos and said, Medic, why don't you change this truck into a dually? And I thought, that's a bloody brilliant idea. Everything heavy duty, let's do dually tires. So I thought to myself that, hey, I've already got 4 additional Proline tires. These are flat irons. Cut the tread on them. See that? Oh, do you want to see that again? Oh, 2 are picked up at once. But how does he do it? Well, I talked to one of the builders I know, Casey, from Ted's Garage, and he said, Medic, bore out the middle part so you can get to the nut inside and bolt them together. Check that out. Dun, 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 dun. So no glue, nothing like that. 2 individual beadlock tires. This is a used tire here. It ran around the yard a little bit. Got some dirt in it. Look at that. And then on top of it, if that was done, I could take the little spacer or the cap that comes with these tires and just mount it to the middle. So now I've got these. And now you guys know how to make dually tires. Do you like that? Check it out, okay? So now I've got 2 rear dually tires that can be moved onto one axle, individually done. Pretty new. I think we should pop those on the back of our roller. Oh man, a dually! Boom, boom, boom! There's 6 tires on this heavy-duty rig. And here, let me just flip that around so you can have a look at the rear. That is going to be a lot of power. Can you imagine side-hilling on the trail with that? That's going to take forever to flip. So, how much do I think it weighs right now? I don't know, not too bad. 3 pounds? 4 pounds? Maybe. I'm just guesstimating. But there you go. So lots of clearance. Got a nice suspension in the back. Dual tires on that sucker. Now you guys know. Dual motors. I think it's time to put in the FXRs. Right on. I got the temperature turned up to about 750. Maybe I'll just turn that down a little bit because I can. I've already pre-tipped the gun. Kind of looks like a tattoo gun. Power source and obviously this part on the end. Don't need to do any tattooing with that. But I have set up a couple of wires here that I'm going to tin and get ready. And I know even the guys at Ted's Garage bust my nuts about using flux and even with a gun set up like this. But you know what? I like using flux. It's easy. And most people, they need to know how to use it with flux. So I know all the pros are still laughing. I don't care. Okay, so a little bit of flux on the end, folks. Just the way your local plumber would do it anyway. Flux is an adhesive. It helps the solder stick, especially if the soldering gun isn't hot enough, but it really kind of wicks it or draws it right into the actual wire. So now that that's done, I'll put you guys back up on the tripod. There you go. And we'll put a little bit. See, the guys always show to heat it up. And once it's hot, it should go right in there. Like so. Flux does help though. It's just a nice job. I don't know what their issue is. Okay, there we go. Those guys are awesome. Don't get me wrong. All right, so they are tinned. Just that easy. I'm only doing one side for now. Again, we can do 2 more. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do. There we go. Not as good as my friend Brian there, or even Ted. They're actually pros at it. I need more experience. Got the right tools now, though, that's for sure. Okay, those are nicely tinned, like so. This will be important when I'm attaching them to the posts so they join easier. Let's move on to the FXR itself. Okay, so for the capacitor, I have already pre-bent it, okay? This is just to fit into the post here, and we'll put that on in a second, right after I tin the posts. Like so. 1, 2... I guess I could have put it in there first, like a dummy. And 4. There we go. There, I just slid the cap underneath the solder. Heat that up again, get out of the light so you guys can see. Just kind of heat that up, let it run down. There we go. Same on this side, let it run down. Okay. All the posts, you want to make sure they're all clean of anything and everything sticks nicely. You can see everything's good to go. Placement of the capacitor is good. This is for power surges and spikes from the battery. Next we'll do the wires. Alright, negative wire has been attached. Just going to put a little solder back on the gun here. Okay. Just a tad. Oh god, did I just say tad on a video? Laid straight out like this. And heating up the post, heating up the wire. And nice straight connection. Like so. It's hard to see on camera. It's actually not too bad. Yeah, nothing's touching. Like I said, I'm not the best soldering guy in the world. That'll certainly work. We're going to have to snip these tabs off. I'm going to keep soldering these posts on and move on to the other ESC, get that done, and we'll have the wires ready to be attached to the truck. Okay, so off camera I've gone ahead and done the soldering. I needed both hands and it was kind of awkward because I needed to use the alligator clips and blah blah blah. But what I've done is I've gone ahead and attached each one to the ESC. Here, let me put this gun back. There we go. And zoom out for you a bit. So the capacitor is now on there. We can still see the window, right, for programming. Everything has been soldered into place. It's time to snip off these extra little pieces here. Okay, do that with just a normal pair of heavy-duty scissors. 1, 2. Time to put some heat shrink over the posts. I think we'll only be able to do it a little bit over these two here because of the capacitor, but we can certainly do it with these last two. Let me show you. Here, it's a little cloudy here today, so I thought I'd bring in a little bit extra light just so I could show you what I was doing here. Yeah, this is a little bit too much. I don't mind too much being on there though. It'll give it a bit of strength. So we just slide the heat shrink tube over the soldering points to keep them not only with added strength but protected. And the two where your capacitor is, a little bit out of focus there, sorry guys, you know, you just push it down as far as you can. Take a lighter, it's a normal lighter, over the heat shrink, watch your fingers. Pretty standard stuff, I've done this a few times. Okay, you'll see the result is it's shrinking. And right about there is good. Done product. Everything is done. It's a waterproof ESC, or what I would say waterproof. Always water resistant at least, let me just say that. On the back, everything's all protected, strengthened. This ESC is ready to be installed, and we'll move on to the next part. Alright, so before I sign off for today, I figured you guys would want to have at least one look of the body that I was going to use for this whole build for the dually, hey? You want to have another look at that? Isn't that nice? Okay, so for a heavy-duty truck, we're going to need a heavy-duty Ford body on there. Now, of course, the pins are making it higher than it's actually going to be, but here I was going to actually use the Rude Boys Fabrication Custom Bumper. This is actually the axial bumper that comes with the Dingo. Unfortunately, the bumper doesn't fit the style that I wanted, so Rude Boys is actually going to fabricate another one for me. You'll also see that the front steering here is a little bit low. It's clocked a little bit low with this here. I will be lifting that up, but these are all fine-tuning things that happen as the build goes. And speaking of more build videos, of course there's more to come on this rig. If you guys want to comment on the project in the description box below. I know you guys wanted to see a Defender, and yeah, I'm going to get that Defender going, but I think this is certainly more appropriate for the use that I'm going to be using it for. Anyway, until next time guys, hopefully I'll see you at rcsparks.com in the forums.